The warmth of fellowship in the church feels colder to Daniel these days. Every hymn, every sermon, reminds him of the invisible lines drawn between his family and faiths. Suspicion has begun to stir in the hearts of those closest to him. Whispers float through the congregation, whispers that Pastor Abel doesn't miss. And though Daniel raises his hands in worship, his heart feels heavy, burdened by love and looming confrontation. At home, Chief Adediah stands with the letter Faith found in his hands. His voice is sharp, his gaze piercing.
Do you understand what this means, Faith? You've crossed a line.
Faith's voice quivers as she tries to explain, but her father cuts her off. He accuses her of betraying their family and church. Faith's mother watches silently, torn between her loyalty to her husband and her love for her daughter. The room crackles with tension, the air heavy with unspoken truths. Faith retreats to her room, tears streaming down her face. Her mother enters quietly, sitting beside her.
Why him, Faith?
She asks softly. Faith explains that her love for Daniel feels like destiny, something she cannot turn away from. Her mother warns her of the cost, her father's wrath, and the community's judgment. But Faith's resolve strengthens.
I can't deny this, Mama, even if it costs me everything.
Her mother sighs, her expression a mix of sorrow and pride, knowing her daughter's path will not be easy. Daniel returns home to find his father waiting in his office. Pastor Abel's voice is calm but firm.
Is it true, Daniel? Are you seeing Chief Adedio's daughter?
Daniel hesitates, then nods. The calm shatters as Pastor Abel's anger erupts. He speaks of betrayal, of how Daniel's actions reopen wounds from the past. Daniel stands his ground, his voice trembling but steady.
I love her, Dad. Isn't love supposed to conquer all?
Pastor Abel's response is cold.
Not when it comes at the cost of your family and faith.
Faith rushes to meet Daniel, the wind whipping through the trees as a storm brews above. She tells him about her father's discovery of the letter and his accusations. Daniel shares his confrontation with his father. The weight of their love and the forces against them presses heavily on their hearts. They hold each other tightly, their whispers of reassurance almost lost in the wind. But as the first drops of rain fall, Faith reveals something shocking.
There's more to this than a feud, Daniel. My father, he's hiding something else.
Faith hesitates before continuing.
I overheard my father talking to my uncle. They mentioned money, a lot of it, something to do with your family's church.
Daniel's heart pounds as her words sink in.
What are you saying, Faith?
She looks into his eyes, her voice trembling.
I think my father's betrayal wasn't just about faith, it was about power, and now we're caught in the middle.
The storm rages above as Daniel processes her words, their love now tangled in something far greater than they imagined. Back at her home, Chief Adediah stands in his study, his voice low and threatening as he speaks into the phone.
They can't find out, do you hear me? Not them, not anyone.
He hangs up and turns, his expression dark and determined. Outside, unseen by him, Faith listens, her hand covering her mouth as she stifles a gasp. She slips away silently, her heart racing with the weight of what she's just heard. Storms often reveal more than they conceal. For Daniel and Faith, the truth is as fierce as the tempest above. Their love, once a beacon of hope, now stands against forces of greed, betrayal, and power. As secrets unravel, one question remains. How far will they go to protect each other? And will their love survive what's to come?